Hello, everybody. Yes, it does look like I'm a little bit sunburnt. I just went for a quick walk. I'm in a different location, but hopefully that won't matter. Today, we are looking at the reading strategy of adjusting your reading rate. So, adjusting means changing, and reading rate means how quickly or how slowly you read. Okay? Sometimes when you're reading a text, you need to read at a normal pace because there's no theme, there's nothing going on. It may not be a story, it could just be an information report or something that's non-fiction, which means that you tend to read at a very normal pace throughout the entire piece. But sometimes, let's say we are looking at something that's fiction, so a narrative. If it's something a bit scary or a bit suspenseful, you could potentially say something quite slowly to build up that feeling of suspense. But let's say there's something really exciting happening. So somebody's running a race, or maybe there's a chase going on in the story. You might read it a little bit faster. And that is what we are focusing on this week for Cafe. Okay, for example, I could read something like this. It was a dark and stormy evening, and everybody was huddled inside around the fire. They weren't entirely sure why there was such a wicked storm brewing, but apparently the Witch of the Wicked West had been released. Suddenly, they heard a bang at the door, and everybody jumped up and they ran up into the attic. They locked the door behind them, but they weren't entirely sure if they could hear somebody inside. Slowly, they heard footsteps. It was creeping towards them. And then the door turned. It opened and it revealed something that they didn't expect. Can you see how changing the rate in which you read can really engage your audience? Now it's your turn. I would like you to collect your personal novel and practice reading your personal novel with different reading rates. Okay? Now, you may have suspenseful parts or scary parts or chase parts. You could have something completely different. But I want you guys to try and change your rate and see if you think that would engage your audience further. Set 5 minutes on your timer on your iPad and just have a go. Now that you've had a try or a little practice of adjusting your reading rates, here is what your challenge is for today. We've been looking in our integrated unit at different celebrations. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to create a little speech that can only go for 2 minutes on the celebration that you think is the best. And what you're going to have to do during that speech is you're going to have to use persuasive language. You're going to have to think about your reasons why. But you also, in order to engage your audience, you're also going to have to think about speeding up parts and slowing down parts. And you've got to fit it into 2 minutes. Okay, so I've got my phone here. I'm going to set my timer to 2 minutes. So you can see there, setting it to 2 minutes. And I'm going to convince you why I think Christmas is the best holiday. Okay, here we go. Christmas is easily the best holiday of the year for a number of different reasons. Number one, how good is the food? Oh my gosh, it's absolutely delicious. Christmas pudding, mince pies, I always have lemon cake, turkey, roast potatoes, absolutely delicious. And you don't get to eat it at any time of the year because people don't normally make it, and it's also not in the supermarket. Number two is you get presents. How great are presents? Not only do you get stockings, but you get ones under the tree. Now, aside from your birthday, you don't really get that many presents, so I think that that's another awesome reason why Christmas is the best. Oh my God, okay. I've only got 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. The third reason is that it's a time for all of your family to come together. Now, I've only got a very small family, but we're super busy. So it's really cool when we all get to come together and just hang out. Number four, the weather is really nice. So you get to all go outside and all of that kind of thing. 5, we get school holidays. I really like all of you, but I also really like holidays because I get to sleep in and drink coffee. Okay. And what are some other reasons? Well, I mean, obviously, the Christmas carols. I absolutely love going to the Christmas carols. My dad sings in the church and I always go and listen to him, and I really love singing. And I think that everybody all coming together and enjoying themselves is awesome. I think the other thing that I really, really, really enjoy is that they've got all of these like carols in the parks. So you go and like have a picnic rug and you put it all down and then you eat lots of food. Food. And you get to sing and eat and be with your friends. And I think that at Christmas time, that's when everybody is in the mood to have celebrations and enjoy themselves. And so they're all of the amazing reasons why I think, well, why Christmas is the best celebration out of all of them, full stop. Now, there was obviously a period in that 2 minutes where I kind of paused because I hadn't really planned my speech very well. So you guys can learn from my mistake and make sure that you've got all of your reasons why so you don't waste any time in your 2 minutes. By the end of this lesson, you must have a 2-minute video telling me and everybody else why your celebration or why you think a certain celebration is the best. And no, you cannot do Christmas because I did Christmas, okay? Recognize times in your speech where you can go a little bit faster and maybe sometimes we can go a little bit slower. You could even underline the bits to go faster in green and then you can underline the bits to go slower in red so then you know. By changing your reading rate, it makes it way more interesting for your audience. So make sure that you keep that in mind, okay? Find a space in the room or just where you are. You can write some notes in your cafe book, but by the end of this lesson, you do need to have your 2 minutes done. I hope it goes well, guys, and I look forward to watching your videos. Bye! Salt and vinegar chips.